My father, the Alpha King, did not want me surrounded by Alpha chasing the throne, so he hid my identity and arranged for me to meet Adrian Val, the young Alpha of the modest Silver Ridge pack.
Isabella, my dear daughter, Adrian has real talent. He is not like those court alphas who only know how to flatter those in power. Go and meet him. If he still treats you well without knowing you are a princess, then perhaps he is the husband the moon goddess has chosen for you.
I was wearing a Chanel dress, a custom Cartier watch, a Hermes bag, and the moonstone bracelet my mother had left me. This was only a formal meeting, but since my father had arranged it himself, I chose to show respect. Before dinner could begin, Adrian's childhood friend, Molly Bain, stormed into the private dining room. Her eyes swept over my dress, my watch, my bracelet, and my bag. Then she smiled.
Adrian, you know I'm a gold digger detector. Unfortunately, I have to tell you, you've been targeted by another gold digger who wants to be your Luna. And on top of that, she doesn't even have a wolf spirit.
I'm sorry, Isabella. Molly just doesn't like women who dress too flashy.
The most alpha F of Silver Ridge Inn is talking to you! What kind of attitude is that?
Don't you think that just because you're dressed in designer brands, you can fool Adrian into putting a Luna crown on your head?
Stop your wishful thinking, you bastard without a wolf spirit! Tell us, how many alphas did you fool before you could afford everything you're wearing?
Her malice almost made me laugh.
I have no interest in Adrian whatsoever.
I hope that when you see the bill from my escort officer, your smile will be just as bright as it is now, Miss Molly. It seemed that the young Alpha my father spoke so highly of was nothing more than a fool being played by a woman. Molly let out a soft laugh and looked me up and down again. You say you don't like Adrian, but only you know what's really in your heart. What am I thinking? I've seen plenty of women like you. You buy luxury brands to wrap yourself in with money you get from selling your body, act offended, questioned, and then wait for an alpha to offer protection, money, and dream of becoming some alpha's Luna one day. So, am I right?
Molly, that's enough. Isabella is a guest.
His voice was low, but it lacked the weight of a command. He sounded he was trying to appease her, not stop her, and Molly didn't back down.
Since when does a guest like that get to be here at Silver Ridge?
Adrian, is this how Silver Ridge treats invited guests? Adrian turned to me, his expression strained.
Isabella, a male wolf once deceived her with a false bloodline and borrowed wealth, so she reacts strongly when someone appears to be using status to get close to an alpha. Please don't take it personally.
His apology was directed at me, but his hand still held Molly's wrist. Miss Molly's past has nothing to do with me. Her misfortune has nothing to do with me. Her misfortune is not my doing, and it certainly cannot be the reason for her insults towards me. Molly's face darkened.
You bastard! How dare you hit me! And you say I'm insulting you!
Don't think that just because you're dressed in designer brands, you can pretend to be a princess and trick Adrian into marrying you! You might have been successful with your disguise, but forgot to take off this fake!
Pink moonstone may only be worn by the noble imperial family. No woman without a chaperone and buoyed of a wolf spirit is permitted to possess it. Molly followed my gaze and smirked. I looked back at her. And how can you be sure I'm not a member of the royal family?
Molly, don't be impulsive.
Molly let out a dismissive snort. If you, a bastard without a wolf spirit, can be royalty, then I must be the Alpha King's one and only princess. Hey, bastard, listen here. I suggest you get out of Silver Ridge territory now. Go cry to whichever Alpha you've fooled and ask him for more money. Otherwise, when the Alpha King finds out, you won't even have a body left to bury. Adrian's jaw tightened, but he still did not make her apologize. Instead, he said,
Isabella, don't be angry. Molly's words are harsh, but she's just worried that I might be taken advantage of.
Well, gave a short laugh.
She called me a bastard and a gold digger, and you call that concern?
He was speechless. Molly stepped closer. If you really were royalty, you wouldn't have come alone. Your family would have sent guards. Your pack would have sent notice. Adrian's elders would know who you are. Instead, you stalk around like a rat, avoiding the light, sneaking off to meet Adrian in private. That was the one thing she had gotten right. My father had forbidden the royal court from sending any notice, only informing Silver Ridge that someone would be visiting. But I had no need to explain that to her. I picked up my bag and stood. Adrian stood up as well. Alpha Vane, this meeting is over.
Did you see him, Isabella? How did it go?
I saw him, Dad. But he seems to have doubts about my identity. Adrian's companion called me a bastard without the wolf spirit.
They dared to treat the sole heir of the Dran family like that. I'm sorry, my dear. I didn't think it through. I'm sending someone to pick you up right away. Isabella.
Molly's were blunt, but she no real harm.
She's been attacking me since the moment she walked in, and every time she opens you make excuses for her. If you call insults towards me, no real harm. Why doesn't she treat same the Shane she treats me? His face frozen. Molly walked up to me triumphantly. His face froze. Molly walked up to me triumphantly. What's wrong, princess? Not leaving anymore? Did you realize your threats don't work on Adrian, so you're trying a different approach? Miss Molly, let me reiterate. I have absolutely no interest in the Luna position of the Silver Ridge Pack. You have to pay your debts before you can leave. You entered Silver Ridge's private meeting area without a verified Pack identity. According to Pack security regulations, you need to pay an identity review fee and security compensation before you leave. That comes to a total of $200,000. I looked past her, straight at Adrian. Alpha Vane, is this your rule? Are you sure you want to do this? Adrian averted his gaze.
Molly's intentions are for your own good as well. Besides, Silver Ridge regulations do have such a clause.
So your solution is to let your childhood friend slander an invited guest and charge her for it?
If you have nothing to hide, the review will clear your name.
Molly smiled. That's right. Pay the fee, and once we verify your identity, you can go. I was invited here. I didn't cross your border secretly, nor do I have any intention of becoming your Luna. I'm just here to have dinner because my father asked me to, that's all. Molly's smile faded. A woman with no escort, no formal notice, and no wolf spirit doesn't walk into Silver Ridge something that looks like a royal bracelet, unless she people to think she's worthy of an alpha. I picked up my bag and walked around her. Molly's frantic voice sounded from behind. Guards! Guards! Molly crossed her arms. Conduct a thorough review of our esteemed Princess Isabella. Several Silver Ridge guards entered and blocked the doorway. Keep her here until the review is complete. I looked at Adrian. Alpha Vane, are you lonely detaining me?
You misunderstand, Isabella. We are asking you to cooperate with the security procedure.
Even at this point, Adrian was still making excuses for his childhood friend. Procedure invented after I refused to let Molly insult me. Molly stepped closer. My father oversees access and visitor records. Of course I know the rules better than you, a bastard without a pack. Then bring your father here. Or bring the council liaison assigned to Silver Ridge. If I've truly violated Silver Ridge rules, handle it through proper channels. Her eyes narrowed. You, a bastard without a wolf spirit, think you're worthy of meeting my father and the liaison? I think you've gotten too caught up in your act and actually believe you're a princess. I just think you should stop pretending that personal jealousy is a pack security matter. Otherwise, you won't be able to bear the consequences. Molly's face turned red with anger. Adrian walked over and stood beside her.
Isabella, you're escalated in the situation for no reason. Molly is just doing her duty. Her approach may be emotional, but her concerns are not unfounded.
Are you saying I should just let you humiliate me?
Alpha, there's a man outside claimed to be a messenger from the Alpha King.
You mangry dog pretending to be a princess. The messenger will expose you soon enough. You'll be tied to the torture rack for your punishment.
If you kneel and kohaku to me now, I might consider putting in a good word for you when you beg for mercy later. Is that so? But I have a feeling it's you who will be begging for mercy.
But the elders didn't mention that the Alpha King would be sending a messenger today.
You dared to have someone impersonate the Alpha King's messenger! Go and arrest that imposter!
Now, let's get back to the matter of compensation. We'll have to add the crime of insulting the Alpha King. Let me think. A fine of $300,000 for this offense is reasonable, don't you think? I'm sure $50,000 isn't much for someone dressed in designer brands from head to toe, unless those things aren't real. I can pay $50,000, but why should I pay for your insults? Because you have no shame? The room fell silent. It seems our Princess Isabella is unwilling to follow the rules. In that case, you should teach her Silver Ridge regulations. Adrian's voice turned colder.
Isabella, you...
I cut him off. Before I came to Silver Ridge, my father told me you were a capable alpha. But he was wrong. You're just a fool being played by a woman. His expression darkened.
Silver Ridge may not be a royal pack, but I have treated you with respect from the start. Isn't that enough, Isabella?
With respect? You let her question my bloodline in your dining room. You let her block the door. You let your guards stand between me and the exit. If this is your idea of respect, then Silver Ridge and I have nothing else to discuss. Molly's anger flared.
How dare you speak to Adrian like that? Do you know how many women would fight for the chance to become Luna of Silver Ridge?
I'm not one of them. I have no interest in your alpha and no interest in his Luna position. I came because my father asked me to give this meeting a chance. That chance is over.
Your father asked you to give Silver Ridge a chance?
He repeated.
Who do you think you are?
I looked at him and then decided he was not yet worthy of an answer. I am someone who has no reason to stay in this room any longer. I stepped forward. Molly flicked her gaze towards the guards. 2 of them blocked the doorway. A 3rd guard reached from the side and grabbed my arm, his fingers locked tightly around my sleeve and skin. Let go, or I will make you regret it. The guard's hand remained tightly gripping my arm. His hold was controlled, but it made Silver Ridge's position clear. I was no longer being treated as a guest. I looked down at his fingers. I'm telling you one last time. Let go. Molly stood beside Adrian, her face a mask of obvious triumph.
No one can offend our alpha and leave unharmed. You will pay for your arrogance with your life.
I looked at Adrian. Is this how you allow your guards to treat someone you invited? Adrian glanced at the guard, but gave no order to release me.
Isabella, if you cooperate with the review, no one will hurt you.
This isn't a review. Under council law, this is unlawful detention. Council law? What's next? Are you going to claim the council elders answer to you? I kept my eyes on Adrian. Alpha Vayan, I am giving you one last chance. Order your guards to release me. Have Molly apologize and report tonight's events through the proper channels. That's the only way Silver Ridge can minimize the damage. His face darkened.
Minimize the damage? Who do you think you are?
I turned to her. Isabella Drayan, daughter of the Alpha King. The room went completely silent.
You've completely lost your mind.
She looked at Adrian. She says she's the Alpha King's daughter. No guards, no royal notice, no verified pack record, but she expects us to believe she's royal blood. Adrian didn't laugh, but the doubt in his eyes was clear.
My elders only told me to attend a private meeting and take it seriously. They didn't mention anything about Drayan or the royal court.
Molly immediately seized on that. You heard that? Even Silver Ridge's elders weren't told you were royalty. How far are you going to take this lie? I wasn't surprised. If my father had hidden my identity, Silver Ridge wouldn't have received any information revealing it. I had no reason to explain his test to those who had already failed it. Molly's gaze fell on my wrist. That bracelet must be part of the act, too. Her eyes sharpened. A true pink moonstone heirloom from the royal court belongs to the main bloodline. You either bought tinted glass, or some alpha bought it for you because you were useful to him. You not recognizing it doesn't make it fake. Molly snoffed. Real?
Do you know how much of Jangyaman heirloom is worth?
Well, this bracelet of mine is worth more than Silver Ridge could earn in 10 years. Her expression changed. You arrogant liar! She turned to one of the guards. Get me an outside tag. Adrian frowned.
Molly.
She ignored him. One of the guards hesitated, then pulled a gray identification belt from his belt pouch. A marked wolf would have their wolf spirit raced by the council and ultimately die a painful death in the abyss. Molly took it and held it up. Miss Isabella, I think you should experience the taste of this, so you remembers the price of offending an alpha. I looked at that gray band. Don't put that on me. Why? Afraid you won't be able to trick other alphasses anymore? She reached for my wrist. I pulled back, but the guard holding my arm tightened his grip. Another guard stepped up and blocked my shoulder. Molly snapped the band around my wrist, forcing it close against my mother's bracelet. The tag read, Unverified Female. Molly stepped back, satisfied with herself. There, that suits you better. I stared at the cheap gray band pressing against my skin right beside the moonstone bracelet. My anger settled into something colder. You will regret this. Silver Ridge will pay a heavy price for your ignorance. I'm sure you say that to every pack that catches you lying. Molly looked over my dress, my watch, my bracelet, and my bag. I'll give you one chance. Take off the fake heirloom, register your real pack, and admit in front of everyone that you came here pretending to be royal blood because you wanted Adrian's lunaflation. Her voice hardened. If you do that, I may waive the $200,000 security compensation. I looked at Adrian. He gave no order to remove the tag, nor did he tell Molly to stop. He just watched, as if silence could keep his hands clean. That silence gave Molly permission. She pointed at my wrist. Start with the bracelet. If you touch Silverage will not be able to bear the consequence. Molly's expression twisted. Still acting. She looked at the guards. Hold her still. Adrian finally spoke.
Molly, don't take this too far.
I'm protecting you. She's lying to your face, and you still want to be polite to her?
Adrian said nothing. Molly took his silence as agreement. 2 guards pinned my arms. She reached for the moonstone bracelet. Let's see how precious a fake royal trinket can be. Molly's fingers closed around my moonstone bracelet. 2 guards were holding my arms, and everyone in the room had stopped pretending this was a review. Let's see how valuable this royal trinket really is.
Stop! If you break it, my father will make all of Silver rich and pay.
Molly laughed. Is that imaginary royal father coming to the rescue now too? My phone rang on the table. The screen showed one word, father. Molly snatched up the phone and put it on speaker. My father's voice came through, low and steady.
Isabella, are you all right? The messenger I sent was thrown out.
Molly lifted the phone to her mouth. Your daughter pretended to be royal blood and entered Silver Ridge under a false identity. She owes $500,000 in security compensation. If you want her released, send the money. My father's voice turned cold.
Put Isabella on the phone.
Molly said triumphantly. She has no right to speak right now. Until she admits she lied, she stays here for review. After a brief silence, my father said,
Give me the address. I'll have people there within 10 minutes. If you so much as touch a hair on Isabella's head, I will make you regret being born into this world.
Molly thought he was afraid. She gave him the address, ended the call, and tossed my phone back onto the table. See? Even your family only knows how to act tough. And with that, her hand reached for my bracelet. Now let's see what Princess Isabella's moonstone bracelet really is.
Stop! I'll give you the $500,000.
Too late. The clasp had been adjusted by the royal jeweler for my coming-of-age ceremony, but she knew nothing about how to open it. She only used brute force. The metal cracked. The bracelet fell to the marble floor. The moonstone split along one side, and part of the hidden Draring crest was exposed from the damaged setting. I broke free from the guard's grip and knelt before the shattered bracelet. I bent down to pick it up. Before I could reach it, Molly's heel came down on my hand. Pain shot through my fingers. For a fake, you're desperate enough to bleed for cheap jewelries. Is because you know no alpha will buy you another one? I raised my head. I told you who I was. I am Isabella Draven, daughter of the Alpha King. My father will not forgive this. Molly's face twisted. Hold her. The guards jerked me upright. Another Silver Ridge wolf stripped the Cartier watch from my wrist and pulled a finger, tossing both onto the table as confiscated items. Molly stomped on the bracelet again. The cracks crossed the entire moonstone. Every fake in a pretty dress claims a powerful father when she's cornered. Search her. Tear that Chanel apart if you have to. See if she's stolen anything from Silver Ridge, Molly said. Adrian finally moved.
Molly, that's enough.
Women like her succeed because men are too polite to expose them. Adrian said nothing after that. Molly raised her hand and slapped me across the face before I could react. The guards held me too tightly for me to move. Then the doors to the private dining room were slammed inward. Royal guards in black uniforms poured through the entrance. The Silver Ridge guards were seized and pinned against the wall before they could shift or reach for weapons. A voice cut through the room, cold enough to silence every wolf inside.
Who dared lay a hand on the princess?
The room fell into stunned silence. For a moment, no one in the room dared to move. Cassian Thorne knelt on one knee before me, his head bowed with the precision of a man who served only the crown. Behind him, royal guards held the Silver Ridge guards against the wall. After seeing the silver wolf insignia on the royal uniforms, no one dared to struggle. Molly stared at Cassian as if her mind had stopped working. Then recognition hit her.
Commander Thorne?
Her voice trembled, but she forced a smile onto her face. There must be a misunderstanding. We were only handling a security matter. This woman came here under der Circumstances, and we were trying to protect Alpha Vane. Cassian didn't look at her. Adrian stepped forward, pale, but struggling to stay composed.
Commander Thorne, I am Adrian Vane, Alpha of Silver Ridge. If the royal court has concerns, I can explain what happened.
Cassian glanced at him.
I know who you are.
Then he turned back to me.
Princess Isabella. His Majesty received the call and ordered me to come at once. I still arrived too late.
It wasn't your fault. The fault lies with them. My gaze moved to the floor. The moonstone bracelet lay beside Molly's shoe. The stone was cracked, the clasp was bent out of shape, and the hidden Draring crown had been forced partly into view. The gray tag still pressed against my wrist where Molly had snapped it on. Cassian followed my gaze. His expression changed. His voice dropped.
Who did this?
No one answered. Molly's smile vanished. I bent down and picked up the broken bracelet. The damaged metal felt cold against my palm. It was my mother's keepsake. The one thing I had never taken off since she passed. Molly had treated it like cheap glass. Cassian stood up and signaled to a royal guard. The guard brought forward a sealed black case and placed it on the table. Cassian opened it. Inside were neat stacks of cash, bound and marked with the royal seal.
Molly Vane demanded $500,000 in security compensation.
Cassian said.
His Majesty sent $1 million.
The guards immediately began murmuring.
She really marked a princess as a criminal wolf? And she broke a royal heirloom.
With every whisper, Molly's face grew paler. I pushed the case towards her. Here is the money you demanded. My father kept his promise. Molly looked at the cash, then at me. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. I placed the damaged bracelet on the table. But you didn't keep your promise. You not only broke my mother's keepsake, but also unlawfully detained me. Have you thought about what compensation you will give me? Molly recovered enough to speak. I didn't know you were really Princess Isabella. I told you, but you called me a vain bastard.
Adrian quickly cut in. Princess Isabella, Molly acted recklessly, I won't deny that. Silver Ridge will offer a formal apology and we will cover the damages. I only ask that this not be brought before the Royal Council.
I looked at him. You still think this is something you can quietly fix? His lips pressed together. Molly said dismissively,
It's just a bracelet. If it's real, I can pay for an identical replacement.
Cassian's gaze turned cold.
You can't replace a royal heirloom.
Molly swallowed. I ran my thumb over the cracked moonstone. This bracelet once belonged to my mother, the late Queen Luna. It was altered for me by the royal jeweler on my coming of age. The crest inside the setting marks it as part of the Draymain bloodline. Molly's face completely lost its color. I looked at them, then at Adrian. You called it fake. You marked me as an unverified outsider. You detained me, searched me, and destroyed what my mother left me. No one interrupted this time. I lifted the damaged bracelet slightly, letting the broken crest catch the light. Just this bracelet alone is worth $8 million. Molly was the first to recover.
That's impossible. It's just a bracelet. You can't just name any price you want because you're a princess.
Cassian looked at her.
Leaving aside the fact that it's a keepsake of the late Luna, the pink moonstone alone cost the Alpha King nearly $8 million when he acquired it.
Molly's lips parted.
$8 million is a conservative estimate,
Cassian said.
Its true value is not merely in the gem or the metal.
Molly stared at the cracked moonstone in my hand.
I didn't know. She came with no guards, no notice, no proof. Anyone would have thought she was lying.
I told you, what you say doesn't count as proof. I warned you not to touch it. My father told you to wait 10 minutes. I told you who I was. She had no answer. Cassian signaled to a royal guard. The guard collected my watch and ring from the table and placed them beside the broken bracelet.
These were also custom-made by the royal court and bear the Drayan internal mark. Princess Isabella, shall I record the material losses now?
Yes. He turned back to Molly.
The bracelet is valued at $8 million, the watch at $5,200,000, the ring at $3,100,000. The total material loss and confiscated royal property amounts to $16,300,000.
Molly nearly collapsed.
16,300,000? This is extortion!
Cassian said without hesitation.
You may request a valuation hearing from the Royal Council. However, you are not qualified to contact the Royal Council. Only Alpha Vane can do that.
Adrian stepped forward.
Princess Isabella, Molly was wrong. Silver Ridge will issue a formal apology and pay reasonable compensation.
Reasonable? Do you also think I'm taking this opportunity to extort you? His jaw was tight.
Molly didn't know the bracelet was real. She thought she was protecting the pack from someone using a false identity to get close to me.
I looked at the gray outsider tag still locked around my wrist. She marked me as unverified without a second thought. Adrian's gaze shifted to the tag.
She shouldn't have done that.
She also ordered your guards to hold me.
I should have stopped it sooner.
But you didn't. You just kept making excuses for her, which only emboldened her to humiliate me. He was speechless. Molly grabbed his sleeve.
Adrian, please. I can't pay that. Tell her I didn't mean it. Tell her I was just worried about you.
Adrian looked at me again.
Molly acted because of me. Her judgment was poor, but her intention wasn't to damage royal property. Please give her a chance to make amends before this becomes a royal case.
I let out a short laugh. You still think her humiliating me for no reason is a small matter? Even worse, you think damaging a royal heirloom is a small matter. Adrian's expression changed. She was warned. You were warned. She chose to touch my bracelet, and you chose to remain silent. Molly began to cry.
I said I didn't know.
No, you were unwilling to believe. Her tears stopped. You wanted me to be a liar, so you'd still have a chance to become Adrian's Luna. If I'm not mistaken, you've used this tactic to drive away more than one competitor. You didn't care about the truth at all, not until the royal guards entered this room. Adrian lowered his gaze. Molly shook her head.
I can't pay 16 million.
Cassian looked at her.
Then your family will be summoned.
Molly turned pale.
No, don't call my father.
I looked at her. You used your family's authority. You claimed your father gave you the right to handle visitor records. Her lips trembled. Then let your father come here and explain exactly what rights the Vane family believes it has over guests in Silver Ridge. Adrian stepped forward.
Princess Isabella, there must be another way.
I looked at him, then at Molly, who was clutching his sleeve. There is. Hope flashed across Molly's face. If you believe she did all this for you, then you can pay for her. Adrian froze. For a moment, he just looked at me, trying to process what I had just said. If Molly acted because of you, I said, then you can bear the consequences for her. Molly's fingers tightened on his sleeve. Adrian's expression changed immediately.
Princess Isabella, a payment of that magnitude cannot be promised during a contraction. Silver Ridge would need a formal review, PAC approval, and time to assess the damage.
I smiled faintly. So when Molly needed mercy, she acted for you. Now that it's time to pay, Silver Ridge needs a review. His jaw tightened.
That's not what I meant.
It's exactly what you meant. Cassian stood by the table, silent but observant. The broken bracelet, watch, and ring remained in front of Molly like evidence she could no longer explain away. I looked at Adrian. You have two choices. If Molly acted under Silver Ridge Security Authority, then Silver Ridge bears responsibility for unlawful attention, misuse of PAC procedures, and damage to royal property. If she acted on her own, then the Vane family bears personal liability for abusing lodge authority. Adrian did not answer. Molly quickly turned to him, her eyes pleading.
Adrian, help me.
He looked at her, but only for a second. Molly's hand slipped from his sleeve. Molly looked at the broken bracelet, then at Adrian. Adrian looked away, no longer mentioning paying for her. It seems your feelings for each other aren't that strong after all. Cassian gave a quiet order.
Seal the room. No one leaves until the evidence is recorded.
The royal guards moved at once. 2 guards took the doorway. Another took the key for the outsider tag from a Silver Ridge guard. The rest kept the detained guards pistoned against the wall, leaving no room for anyone to interfere. Molly's face twisted.
You can't trap us in here.
Cassian looked at her.
You detained a member of the royal family inside this room. Now this room is evidence.
Molly's confidence wavered, but only for a moment. Then she reached for her phone.
My father will handle this.
Adrian's face tensed.
Molly, wait.
She ignored him and made the call. The moment it connected, her voice changed. The arrogance vanished, replaced by panic and tears.
Dad, you need to come. Right now. They're threatening me.
She turned her back to the table, but everyone could still hear her.
A woman came here pretending to be royalty. I followed security procedures, and now she's using royal authority to extort us. They claim a bracelet is worth 16 million. They brought royal guards, and they won't let me leave.
Cassian's eyes remained cold. Molly continued.
No, Adrian can't stop them. They want to blame the Vane family. Dad, please come. People.
She ended the call and wiped her face. For a few seconds, no one spoke. Then whispers began near the wall.
Garrick Fine controls the lodge records. Border enforcers answer to him. If he comes, this won't stay quiet. He's erased outsiders from visitor logs before.
Molly heard the whispers and seemed to draw strength from them. She lifted her chin, though her eyes were still red.
My father is coming. He knows every important family in this territory. You can't walk into Silver Ridge and destroy the Vane family with a royal title.
I looked at the broken bracelet again. Did your father give you the authority to manage lodge records? Molly didn't answer. I turned to Cassius. Seal those records. No one from Silver Ridge touches them before the royal court reviews them.
Yes, Princess.
Molly's face paled again.
What right do you have to interfere in Silver Ridge's internal affairs?
According to your reasoning, perhaps because I'm the Alpha King's daughter? Find out who allowed a wolf with no official position to interfere in pack affairs. Adrian stepped forward.
Princess Isabella, involving Garrick Vane could make things worse. He has influence here, but he can be difficult to handle.
That sounds like another reason to hear what he has to say. His lips pressed together. I looked back at Molly. You called him to save you. Good. Maybe he can explain why his daughter thinks she can detain guests, mark them as outsiders, and confiscate their property. Molly opened her mouth, then closed it. Heavy footsteps sounded outside the dining room. The Silver Ridge wolves near the wall straightened immediately. Even Adrian looked toward the door. The door opened again. A broad-shouldered man entered, followed by several Silver Ridge enforcers. His dark coat bore the Vane family crest, and his eyes went straight to Molly, then swept over the royal guards, the sealed evidence on the table, and finally settled on me. His voice rang out with anger.
Who threatened my daughter?
Garrick Vane's voice filled the room. Molly immediately ran to him.
Dad, they're trying to ruin me. I followed security procedures because she wouldn't verify her pack, and now she claims I owe her $16 million for a bracelet. They brought royal guards to threaten us.
Garrick looked at me, then at the sealed evidence on the table.
This is a Silver Ridge security matter. Visitor records and lodge access fall under my jurisdiction. If my daughter conduct a review, she acted under local authority.
Cassian stepped forward before he could come closer.
Take one more step, and this becomes an attack on the royal family.
The enforcers behind Garrick shifted, but the royal guards moved first. Within seconds, all Silver Ridge wolves near the door were subdued. Garrick froze. Then he noticed Cassian's uniform and the silver wolf insignia on his shoulder.
Commander Thorne.
Cassian didn't respond. Garrick forced his voice lower.
There must be a misunderstanding. My daughter is young, and she takes pack security too seriously. If she offended your men, the Vane family will apologize. You're apologizing to the wrong person,
Cassius said. Garrick took a proper look at me this time. He saw the outsider tag on my wrist, the broken moonstone bracelet on the table, and the Draven crest exposed in damaged setting. His expression changed. Molly grabbed his sleeve.
Dad, don't listen to them. She came alone. She has no proof.
I met Gareth's eyes. Mr. Gareth Vane, it's a pleasure to meet you. I am Isabel Drayen. Cassian added.
the daughter of His Majesty, the Alpha King.
The room fell silent. Garrick dropped to his knees and bared his throat.
Princess Isabella, I didn't know. I failed to teach my daughter restraint. Please, give the Vayan family a chance to make amends.
Molly stared at him.
Dad, what are you doing?
Garrick kept his head lowered.
Be quiet.
She's just one woman. You said no one in Silver Ridge could touch us.
His shoulders tense.
I said be quiet.
I looked at Garrick. Your daughter said you gave her the right to detain guests, mark them as outsiders, and confiscate their belongings. Garrick froze.
She misunderstood my meaning. I'll make it clear to her right now. According to Royal Council regulations, we do not have the right to restrict invited guests without ALF approval. We do not have the right to confiscate personal possession.
We do not have the right to mark anyone as unverified without formal border procedures.
Do you understand? You fool!
Adrian, say something. Didn't you say you'd always protect me?
Garrick knelt before me.
Princess Isabella, please. Let me pay for the damage. Let me speak with His Majesty before this goes to the council.
I picked up the cracked bracelet. You can say it when council summons you.
His body stiffened.
I turned to Cassian. Record Garrick Vane's statement. Seal the lodge records and border visitor logs. I want to know how many people were treated this way before me. Garrick's face turned ashen. Molly stopped crying. Molly stared at her father on his knees. The fear on his face seemed to offend her more than the royal guards in the room.
Why are you bowing to her?
She demanded.
She came with no record, no guards. You always said outsiders must follow Vane procedures in Silver Ridge. Garrick's head snapped up.
Molly, be quiet.
But she was too angry to listen.
You said visitor logs mattered more than anyone's word. You said if someone wasn't in our records, they couldn't prove what happened here.
The room went quiet. Garrick froze. Molly didn't notice the change.
We've handled outsiders before. Rogues, women from small packs, wolves who came here complaining about fees. You said once the record was corrected, no one could prove they were ever mistreated.
Molly!
Garrick's voice dropped to a warning tone. She finally looked at him.
What? That's what you taught me? Silver Ridge runs because people like us keep the records clean.
Cassian turned to a royal guard.
Record that.
The guard moved at once. Garrick's face lost all color.
She's emotional,
He said quickly.
She doesn't understand what she's saying. The Vane family has always followed Silver Ridge law.
I looked at him. So this wasn't the first time.
No.
Garrick said.
Princess Isabella, please. She's talking nonsense.
Molly's confidence crumbled.
I didn't mean it like that.
Cassian ignored her.
Seal every visitor log handled by the Vane family. Secure the border records, fee records, and detention reports. No Silver Ridge official touches them before royal review.
Adrian turned to Garrick.
Is what Molly said true?
Garrick didn't answer. That silence did more damage than any confession. Adrian's face hardened slowly, not from anger at Molly, but from the realization that his own pack had been running on rules he'd never questioned. Molly stepped back.
Adrian, I was angry then. I just meant my father protects Silver Ridge. Those outsiders weren't innocent.
I looked at her. You called them outsiders before anyone proved they'd done anything. You did the same to me. Her mouth opened, then closed. Garrick lowered his head again.
Princess Isabella, let me compensate the damages from tonight. I'll pay for the bracelet, the watch, and the ring. I'll discipline my daughter. But please, don't open those old records.
That requests me exactly why they need to be opened. His shoulders sank. Molly shook her head.
No. Dad, tell her she can't do this.
She can.
Garrick said, his voice hollow. For the first time, Molly looked truly lost. Cassian received a report from a guard, then turned to me.
The record room is secured. The ledgers have been marked for remove.
Garrick closed his eyes. I placed the broken bracelet back into the evidence cloth.
This stopped being just about me, the moment your daughter explained how your family uses authority. Molly whispered.
I was just trying to protect Adrian.
No. You were trying to punish anyone you thought was beneath you.
She flinched. I looked towards the door where the royal guards had left. Send everything to the Royal Council. Garrick's head dropped lower. Molly finally understood. The bracelet had ruined her night. Her own words had endangered the entire Veen family. The royal guards returned with sealed record boxes and 2 confiscated tablets from the lodge office. Garrick saw them and seemed to age in an instant. It took a moment for Molly to understand. The bracelet had been expensive, but these records could destroy everything her family had built in Silver Ridge. Garrick lowered his head again.
Princess Isabella, my daughter had no formal authority to detain you. She abused access belonging to my office. The Vane family will compensate every loss and surrender control of Zizzer records until the royal review is complete.
Molly stared at him.
You're giving them our records?
You already did.
Garrick said through grit teeth. Her face crumbled. She turned to me and dropped to her knees, stopping short of touching my dress.
Princess Isabella, please. I was angry. I thought you were lying. I'll apologize in front of the whole pack. I'll remove the tag myself. I'll pay whatever I can. Just don't let the council open those records.
I looked at her for a moment. Every warning I had given her had been a way out. The first time she ignored me was when she called me a fake Luna climber. The second time was when she marked me as unverified. The last time was when my father called. My father called and told her not to touch me again. You're not sorry because you hurt me. You're sorry because the records are leaving this lodge. Molly shook her head.
No. I know I was wrong.
If I was an ordinary she-wolf, would you know that? Her mouth closed. I looked from her to Garrick. If I had no royal name, no royal guards, and no Draren crust hidden in my bracelet, what would have happened tonight? Would your guards have released me? Would your records show I was invited? Or would I have become just another nameless outsider who couldn't prove what Silver Ridge did to her? Garrick's throat moved, but he said nothing. That silence was enough of an answer. Cassian gave an order to the guard beside him.
Record their silence.
Molly started crying again, quieter this time. Garrick pressed his forehead closer to the floor.
Princess Isabella, punish me. Find the Vayan family. Remove us from lodge authority. I only ask that you do not treat every past record as a crime before review.
The review will decide what those records are, not you. I turned to Cassian. Send the records to the Royal Council. Molly Vanin and Garrick Vanin remain available for questioning. No Silver Ridge official speaks to them privately until the first review is complete.
Yes, Princess.
Adrian then stepped forward. His face no longer held the earlier anger. What remained looked more than shame, but it came too late to matter.
Princess Isabella,
He said.
I failed tonight.
No one interrupted him.
I invited you into my territory. I allowed Molly to speak on security matters she didn't control. I allowed my guards to restrain you.
That was my responsibility as Alpha.
Yes. He accepted the answer with a small nod.
I will cooperate with the Royal Review. Silver Ridge will bear whatever part of the liability belongs to the pack. I only asked for the chance to correct what I allowed to happen.
I watched him carefully. Adrian took another step, slower this time.
If you permit it, I would like to begin again. Not tonight. Not as if nothing happened, but properly, with full respect for your identity.
Molly's head snapped up. Geraint closed his eyes. Adrian's gaze remained fixed on me.
I misjudged you. I let another person's fear decide what I saw. Give me one chance to repair that mistake.
I looked at the broken bracelet in Cassian's evidence cloth, then at the outsider tag still locked around my wrist. Adrian stood in the wreckage of the first meeting, asking for a new beginning. I smiled faintly. Alpha Vane, you still think this is something that can be fixed? I looked at Adrian for another moment. Nothing can begin again. His face tightened.
I didn't know who you were.
That was the point. He fell silent. You shouldn't have needed my name to respect me. You shouldn't have needed a royal crest to stop Molly from touching my bracelet. You shouldn't have needed royal guards in the room before you remembered you were an alpha. Cassian locked the gray outsider tag from my wrist and sealed it with the broken bracelet, the watch, and the ring. The insult would leave Silver Ridge as evidence, not as garbage.
Secure the evidence.
Cassian ordered.
Escort Garrick Vane and Molly Vane to separate holding rooms. No Silver Ridge official speaks them without royal authorization.
Molly tried to stand. You can't do this. Cassian didn't look at her.
You detained a princess, damaged royal property, and admitted to abusing visitor records. We're just following regulations.
Before I left, Adrian tried once more.
Princess Isabella, Silver Ridge will accept the review. I only ask that you don't judge the whole pack by tonight.
I'm judging the alpha who allowed tonight. He had no reply. By sunrise, I was back at the royal court. My father had already received Cassier's first report. He read every line, then gave one order.
Open every record the Vane family touched.
The Royal Council moved quickly. Within days, the review found more than Molly's mistake. Varying visitor logs had been altered for years. Unverified fees had been charged rogues, low-ranking she-wolves, and border workers with no strong pack to protect them. Complaints vanished. Some names had been changed from invited guest to trespasser after those wolves tried. Garrick Vane lost every office he held in Silver Ridge. His family assets were frozen for restitution, and he was placed under council supervision until the full investigation ended. Molly's privileges were stripped next.
Then came the formal charges. Abuse of pack procedure, unlawful detention, damage to royal property, public humiliation of a royal family member, obstruction of visitor records. Silver Ridge paid too. The pack lost independent control over border reception and visitor review.
Every guard involved that night was removed from duty. Adrian only kept his alpha title after signing a public admission of failure before the council. No major pack wanted to ally itself with an alpha who had allowed a guest to be marked, detained, and searched in his own lodge. The $16,300,000 was eventually paid through seized Vane assets and Silver Ridge compensation. I didn't keep it. I placed it under my mother's name and established a fund for wolves harmed by false border records and abusive pack reviews. The first benefactors were the kind of women Molly would have called unverified before taking their money and erasing their complaints. A few months later, news from Silver Ridge reached the court again. Molly Vane was pregnant with Adrian's pup. Alpha residence, but he didn't make her Luna. That only made things worse. Silver Ridge wanted them both gone, but the pack had already lost too much face to survive another scandal. The last report came in winter. Adrian Vane was found in his private rooms. He had been weak for weeks, and no healer could explain why. Royal examiners found wolfbait in his blood, administered in small doses over a long period. When they came for Molly, she was sitting beside the bed. She didn't deny it. She said Adrian watched her lose her father, her name, and her future. She said if he had protected her that night, none of this would have happened. The council took her into custody before dawn. Their pup was placed with a neutral guardian from Adrian's bloodline, children Prace line, and Silver Ridge was put under a temporary regent. I heard the news after a winter council session. An older Luna mentioned it quietly over tea. I signed the final document for my mother's fund and put down my pen. Adrian shown me who he was, without knowing who I was. Molly had shown me what power becomes when no one checks it. I looked out at the moon over the royal court, bright against the cold glass. Silver Ridge had a mistake. I had never been one.